Hello, and welcome back to another critical live stream with your host, Brian. We have a pretty crazy Sunday ahead of us, just looking at the artist list for today. Very excited to get into some of this stuff. I see we have signups, Observe the Train, and The Worth You Ship, the Youth Worship Explosion. Dang, that was a mouthful today for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, it does look like so far we only have the two of you. The Worth You ship. That's what I said. Oh man, that is not a good way to start things off. Hey, Tedesco, glad to have you. How's it going? It's been going fine. I think that's a weird way to start this off. It's very unusual for you. It's a interesting back and forth there. Kind of wonder if there's some ulterior motives to that. Or maybe it's just supposed to be a little awkward given the rather intimate collection of people we have here today. FHI is here. Yeah, maybe the counter is just lagging a bit behind then. Excited for Pile and Club Casualties. Club Casualties has me intrigued. That's the Cloud Rap one. So, yeah, I'm interested in seeing what's going on with that. There's quite a few tracks today, though, where either the album art or the thumbnail or the band name have me quite intrigued. Twitch thinks we're all bots. You never know these days. But yeah, it's interesting. On my side, it still says 2 viewers. I'm going to assume that's the same thing it says on my channel page, too. But you know what? Let's get into it. Numbers, they're just a number, right? I don't know where I was going with that. We're going to kick it off, though, with some Mitski. Drunk Walk Home. That's not the right one, though. There we go. This is live from Brooklyn Steel. This one comes at us from PL Jogging. Indie pop starlet during her more emo phase. That has me really intrigued right there. What does an indie pop star do when they approach emo music? Okay, why did you shift from binary to hexadecimal there? There we go. Pure binary. I like that a lot better. Shifting off to the hexadecimal. I don't know, man. Although I suppose it could have been hex the whole time, just landed on a bunch of ones and zeros. Who's a chat? I should make a chat bot. I see other Twitch users have chat bots. I should too, I suppose. I don't know what I would do with it. But it's like a rite of passage. It's what you do on your way to making it big. I just don't know what I'd use it for, other than to, plug the link tree or something every 30 minutes. All right, let's get into this, though. Really interested to see what a pop star does in emo. So, let's check out some Mitski, Drunk Walk Home. A very enthusiastic crowd.
To the Salton Sea at the age of 23, for I'm starting to learn I may never be free, but though I may never be free, fuck you and your money. I'm tired of your money.
Hey, Marilyn, glad to have you. This is a really interesting collection of sounds though, because I can hear the emo influence in the guitars, but the melodies are still 100% pop. Glad to be here on time. Yeah. Made it during the first song.
With every breath of the breeze,
It's certainly somewhere in the middle. It is a very artsy emo, I'll give it that. I don't know. I think I'm intrigued. If nothing else, there's certainly a personality element to this, to the performance art. Can you try some of those dance? I mean, a lot of it is just like up to the sides, right? And then we had the what is this? What is that? The train car? Is that what they're called? You gotta get the train car going. I'm not rolling around on the ground though. It's too early in the morning for me to do that. Very good. Now do 20 reps. Yeah, like I said, there's something interesting about the personality and the performance itself that I think kind of draws me in a little bit, makes me want to see what else they've got going on. But it's one of those things where I'm interested in the performance more than the music, which can be kind of cool. I mean, there's musicals where I'm not a big fan of the album. Well, I'm not enough of a fan of the music to listen to the album alone, but I really love the musical itself. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing that it feels more performance art than anything. But I just don't know if it really clicks with me musically. And I think a lot of that's just because the music is simple. At one time, we just had one chord played over, and actually, it was just one note played over and over and over. The drummer had some nice momentum to it. That's about it, though. And then we finally got our 4-chord progression, and a lot of this, after building the chords, was just sounds. Someone had mentioned, it was Youth Worship Explosion, that it was just noise at a certain point. Well, noise rock, at least, in execution. And I mean, it's interesting to go from like indie rock to a tinge of emo to noise, to art rock to noise rock. But what is it? Is it doing anything of interest? And I think that's kind of where I'm failing to connect with it musically. Been hit and miss for you. Need to listen to more though. Early in the morning's the best time to work out. I used to do that. I followed this video and I vaguely remember it being called like the Punisher workout or something like that. And it was brutal, like 25 minutes of high intensity training. And it's just, I used to do that every morning about 6:30 for like 4 months. And I don't think I could do that again. I'm more of a workout at night person. When I hit the gym, it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I need a good 24-hour gym open. That's when I'm ready to get at it. 6:30 a.m. is illegal hours. I had to do it before everyone woke up. That was the thing. I remember it too. Like this workout, I don't think I'd be able to do it beat for beat. But like I remember it was planking, it was held squats, jumping jacks, burpees. And dude, I just every day when it was over, I just remember collapsing on the ground and just like being so winded. Where's your protein shake? Should I really get it? How much do you squat? I don't do weights. I've never really been a big fan of weights. So I don't know how much I could squat, but it's probably like a medium number. I don't lift. I mean, I got my little 25 pounds weights, but I don't do like deadlifting or anything. I'm not legit, you know. I'm not a bodybuilder. Just try to be well kept, healthy. It's soy protein. Wait, do they make protein shakes that isn't soy? Is that the joke there? Because there's definitely soy in it. It is a vegan shake. All right, next up, we got some Car Bomb. I think we already know what's going on with this. Pretty sure this is a brand new song, and could be Oats. Well, now I'm kind of curious. Let's see. Oats, pea protein, brown rice protein, faba bean protein. Yeah, that looks like it's about it. So no soy. Interesting. You know what I meant. There's an A in there, bro. All right. I've been looking forward to this one, though, simply because when I was doing the audio test, I saw a little bit of the music video, and it's all like 90s animation stuff right here. I'm very excited for it. But it is Car Bomb. It's going to be noisy, right? There's no way around that. This one comes from Greg. Been listening to them since 07, and this just might be their masterpiece, or hopefully even a new breakthrough era for their songwriting, as these 3 newest EP songs are just a warm-up for the new album coming. I think the music video really adds a lot to the impact too. Does it smell like, what does ammonia smell like? What is the Megamind face? Feel like I'm a little bit out of sorts. I'm assuming that's a meme. Might be a little out of sorts on that one. Y'all all have to let me know. I feel like I should know that one. Let's dive into this one. Y'all can explain some of this stuff to me while it's rolling. Oh, no, dude, this stuff smells sweet. Probably because it's vanilla flavored. Oh, but the pea protein, I got it now. It took me a second. Dude, the microtonal detuning? I'd be curious if this was an old movie. They've done a really great job of capturing that old CRT fuzziness. But I think this is new. This is handmade for this. I like how there's no cohesion to the video though. It'll be robots in space 1 second, and then skeletons the next, and then a squid. There's that intro line again. Yeah, this is definitely too new. Same energy as the music, 100%. Clean vocals in a car bomb song? Ooh, what a funky bass line. For real? Then I must only remember the abrasive parts of Car Bomb. Yeah, I can agree that that's definitely a turning point for them. This is the most listenable Car Bomb track I think I've heard. And I think a lot of it comes down to, well, I'm not happy that I'm about to say this. On the one hand, it is the most listenable, but on the other hand, it's because so much of it feels like Meshuggah to me. And it's kind of lost Car Bomb's identity. This isn't chaotic. Oh, hey, Mark. Glad to have you. They are much more listenable than I expected. And see, it might also just be that I've been given some of their most abrasive things. But this doesn't have the weird turns, the weird shifts, the weird noises, the off the walls. You could never transpose this time signature wonkiness. Oh, that was AI? I had a hunch about that because every single shot was just a single scene. There wasn't anything that really panned or where a character was brought in who wasn't already on the screen already. And it was, constantly jumping between a lot of ideas. This is very common in AI created videos. But then there's a lot of details that seem to have been consistent across the board, and AI would make subtle changes to those usually. The hilt of the sword and stuff like that would have been different the 3 times it showed up. So whoever did it put a lot of care into consistency, but it's still still AI. Kind of disappointing. They don't even mention it anywhere. Oh yeah, there it is. Video created with Midjourney. Dang. I did not hit. I didn't even recognize that. Geez. Oh, hey, Mark. Yeah, that's the door. One of those happy little accidents. Um, but it is just kind of Meshuggah at the end of the day. Oh, the room. Not why did I think it was called the door? I don't know. I don't think either of them make a lot of sense, especially since that film takes place in a lot of rooms and a lot of non-rooms. We have the roof of an apartment too. So that movie's a fever dream. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But it's what if Meshuggah wanted to detune everything? The Door would be a good sequel. I'd watch it, honestly. The detuning is a cool effect. It separates them a little bit from pretty much anybody that they would be contemporaries to. And I think it adds a cool element to it. I think it's used well throughout the song. It's not too much where it's abrasively microtonal, but it does create a feeling of fluctuation. It also, I think, works really well with the 90s visual style here, in that it feels like a tape and having to be tracked, and sort of the audio boom coming into the right pitch to go along with it. Now, granted, you wouldn't hear that hopefully throughout the entire tape, but it is kind of a sound I associate with tape recordings. Yeah, it didn't go overboard either. I think it's very tastefully used. So I ended up enjoying that more so than I typically do for microtonal ideas. The rhythmic ideas in here I thought were also very tasteful. That little rapid speeding up in the opening idea, that worked really well. So I think this is interesting in that it's a good turn for Carbon, but it also completely redefines what I think of them. They're now a microtonal Meshuggah rather than a chaotic mathcore band, assuming that they're going to stick with this style, because you see Paroxysm is a suggested track here. I think we checked that out, and that did remind me of older car bombs. So I don't know. I think I have their 2025 album in my list. I don't know if I'm going to check it out. It's not a high priority for me, but I do think I'll get to it eventually, and it'll be interesting to see where they decide to take their sounds. There was a sequel to The Room. I guess I got to track that down. I don't think it can be as interesting. I don't know if good's the right word for it as the original, but I think it's worth watching. The Disaster Artist was an interesting film. I don't know if I'd say I enjoyed that either, but it was interesting if nothing else. Nah. I don't even know what to. I'm just gonna have to look things up on my own. The Room 2 is not a video game, but there's also the game The Room. As Synapse has mentioned, I don't know what's going on with that. James Franco did not nail the accent very well, so I didn't watch it. I don't like James Franco as an actor. Just gonna throw that out there. I think he did an okay job at that, but no. He looked the part. He didn't speak the part though. The Room, the game is unrelated. Oh, okay. James Franco's good sometimes. I watch James Franco reluctantly because he's in interesting films. I don't think he's ever pulled off a role well enough to sell me on his abilities of acting. Like, there's a new one that's out now called Together with Alison Brie and James Franco. and it's an interesting body horror kind of thing. So like I'm interested in it. The concept sounds interesting. It's got Alison Brie in it. She's a phenomenal actress. And I will watch it. It'll be like my 8th movie with James Franco in it. I'm not watching his stuff because I want to watch him. He's okay. Oh, wait, that's Dave Franco? Well, I'd love to say I'm getting him confused, but I don't think I like Dave Franco either. Are there any good Franco brothers? Are there more than 2? I don't know, but I can't think of any Franco that I've enjoyed watching. They're always just in good films. I don't know how they get good roles. That's my confusion right here. This is my Hollywood hot take for today. Why are the Franco brothers still getting roles? Jeez. How do we get on this topic? We're a music place. Let's dive into another song. This next one is from Pyle, called Lord of Calendars. All your homies hate Francos. I don't get it. I don't get the hype around them. All right, Pyle, Lord of Calendars. That looks comfy. I don't know if it really is. I don't know if that's real. Y'all tell me, does the quilt and pillows look superimposed on the image of the leaves? I don't know. Awful in the Spider-Man movies? Who did he play in the Spider-Man movies? Oh, he was Osborn in the Amazing Spider-Mans, yeah. Can we chat, Pyle? Yeah, that looks digital over there now. But it does look comfy. So, I don't know. I'd try it out. Wait, he was Norman in the Raimi Spider-Mans? Yeah, I guess he was. It might just look digital because of the stark color contrast. That's true. There's no shadowing under it either, which could just be the way the lighting is. High noon wouldn't be much of a shadow on the outskirts of it. I've certainly seen things in real life that look photoshopped, so shadowing and lighting certainly play a very large effect to that. Brian needs a reboot. I haven't been able to talk this morning. I can't pronounce things. I can't read right. And apparently my memory's shot too. So that's just where I am today. I hope you all are having a better Sunday than I am. This one comes at us from Ventier with no context. Let's just dive straight into this and see what's going on with Pyle. They trained me on these 11 beat phrases and then gave me a 13. I like this moment. So the song keeps bouncing between 12 and 11 beat phrases. But we also had some 4/4 in there as well, so... The two opposing ends certainly elevate each other. I like this moment particularly because it is calming and soothing, but is also such a large contrast.
I'll trade you my time for a reason and a worthwhile ride. No, it's not much, but it's all I can give. That I'm sure is mine.
Fake out build up. Loud, quiet, dynamic stuff. Okay. There it is. Back to the 11. It isn't even just loud versus quiet, it's noisy versus calm. It's soothing. I mean, even going from these punkier vocals to something very light. Yeah, that's an interesting track. I don't know that I have a lot of thoughts on it right here. They do the high energy versus low energy, loud and abrasive versus soft and soothing really well. I also like how they bring a third dynamic into this, though. It's the rhythmic dynamic. The more abrasive, loud, noisier section also has an asymmetric time signature to it with 11 beat phrases. And when we soothen things up, we calm things down, we make things more digestible harmonically and sonically. We also make it more digestible metrically, and we shift things to the 12. So that's kind of neat, but it is just those two sections primarily. This is how you sing well when you have bad pitch control. Decent song and intriguing. I will say, though, the quiet parts, he was doing really well with his pitchiness. His louder parts, I think, were just purposefully pushed in pitch to not only raise the tension of the style, but to also create some harmonic dissonance in there as well. So, yeah, it's not a song that makes me want to check out more from them, but I think they do a great job at doing what they do and kind of showcasing both sides right here. Each one a different direction. At the design center of the universe, I'm feeling slight pressure now, but I appear to be far from managing all of them well. Are those the lyrics? Tonality rather than pitch. Yeah. Doesn't sound like Kurt Cobain dynamic. Yeah, those lyrics are pretty large in scope right there. Alright. This album is called Organ Music, not Vibraphone, like I hoped. I don't know what causes someone to name an album that, but I'm on board. I always hope for Vibraphone to be introduced places, and it never is. I feel this album title right here. The opening is basically a long-winded poetic way of describing someone being drawn and quartered. Gotcha. All right, we got some Moonface here. Loose heart equals loose plan. This one comes out as from what makes me me. I don't know. Just felt like seeing your reaction to this. Oh, it's Spencer Krug. All right. It's just a weird combination of elements that works for me for reasons I cannot articulate. Lyrics definitely have a lot of impact on me, but I just don't know anyone else who writes such palatable unpalatability. All right, I think this is going to be a bit of a tough listen for me. We got old Spencer here in Moonface with some palatable, unpalatable music. Let's dive in, see what's going on here. Okay, we got some harmonic movement here.
Talking heads make me miss my friends. I'd like to see that face again. I'd like to dance with this drink with the umbrella in my hand. A loose heart makes a loose plan. Everything is because of the wind.
Oh man.
Your clothes travel up your skin, but I was busy watching all the other runners hide.
Well, I like the drum machine, sort of bouncing around, lots of movement there, while keeping the steady pitch. The layering is interesting. The harmonic movement underneath is a little awkward, so it's kind of tough to dance around that. But the song's doing a great job at justifying that chord progression. I can kind of see that. A krautrock with like an 80s, well, I guess krautrock does have 80s palette to it already. That was a fun section. Unexpected, but fun. About palatability, this just seems a little weird, but not musically awkward. Retro Polish covers of songs? No, I can't say I have. Folk is interesting because I could certainly hear if this had been put on acoustic instrumentation. There are certain parts like this and the synth at the beginning that I don't think would translate as well, as I think the sound is a lot of the sonic identity to the song. But the previous minute or so could easily have been folk. Peanut butter and bread, welcome to the channel. I thank you for the well wishes. It's certainly a bit too electronic neo-folk, yeah. Seems kind of backwards. It certainly has its one idea, very new wavy in that manner. Has one concept, we layer it up, we layer it down, end of song. Rule 1, don't be nice to the stream. Dude, really? Oh, and it just ends. Okay. For me, it certainly outstayed its welcome a little bit. I do think that it generally moves to new ideas frequently enough that it keeps itself fresh from start to finish, but I would have liked something. Youth Worship Explosion mentioned earlier, it feels like it's going somewhere, but they weren't sure where it was going, and ultimately, I don't think it went anywhere. I was quite happy with being where it was, but I do agree that it felt like it wanted to get somewhere. It never did. And maybe part of that is even just my expectations and biases of what I like in music. This isn't so much a story as much as an atmosphere. And the atmosphere does subtly change as we add or remove layers, but it is generally the same thing from start to finish. Don't let his friendly demeanor fool you. I'm evil? What do you mean I'm evil? Evil's already in the community. I'm not them. As long as you show respect, you don't have to be nice. That's fair, though. We do have fun here. And I don't mind being the butt of a joke if it's done respectfully, I suppose. Spaced out like a total moron, and I'm pissed off that I missed the car bomb reaction, which I recommend. I thought you spaced out during that song because I could totally see me even doing that. It is just a song that kind of just makes you want to just vibe with it. Just forget about everything else. Yeah, I do think so far it's my favorite car bomb song. Not enough to sell me on the album, but I will be checking out the album anyways. It's still a bit much for me, but it's listenable for sure. So yeah, I think it was a general hit. Even Musket enjoyed it, and I think that's pretty big. especially for a noisier band like that. So definitely a bit of a change of pace for them. But yeah, this one I just, it's good for what it is, but it's very krautrock, very folk, very even new wave, just kind of focused on its one thing. So if you like that, it's a good jam. If you need more variability, they're definitely not that. All right, we have No Joy coming up with Dream Rats. This is... Wow. Oh, okay, so this album was released by Joyful Noise Recordings. That was the record label that picked up No Joy. I kind of hope that they're working together. Like this person or these artists or this artist who is No Joy also made Joyful Noise Recordings. There's no way that they're two separate entities that just came together that way. Didn't really enjoy it, but I was doing the dishes and kept quiet. Sometimes that's the best way to go about stuff. Just keep your opinions on the down low. I can't do that. I got too much of a motor mouth to keep my opinions in. Let's see. This one comes at us from Off by 50 with No Context. All right, then. Let's dive into it. See what's going on with No Joy. That's not the sound I expected from this album art. All expectations are gone. This can go anywhere. Okay, this is gorgeous, right? I'm not the only one who thinks that. Wildly eclectic, but beautiful. I'm a big fan of the bells. I like the lighter drumming. Just all the genres. Yeah. Dude, this is all over the place. Acapella. Is that it? Wow. I gotta check more of that out. I mean, first of all, the surface level, it's just solid pop right there. It's got a very 90s pop feel to it as well. I think part of it's the production. If there is any pitch correction on here, it's very light, more subtle than modern pop music. There's a haziness to it that, for whatever reason, also reminds me of 90s pop rock. It's those guitars, very bright, very beautiful. Even Synapse pointed them out at the end there. The brightness of the bells that exist throughout most of this. The a cappella section was gorgeous. Having a gritty, noisy, sometimes atonal element on the bottom of all of this is a wild sound that I don't know how to feel about yet. It adds a very interesting grit to an otherwise straightforward, palatable, kind of bittersweet track. It's not completely joyful, but it's not a really negative song either. I think it's about as negative as most pop songs kind of get. And then the occasional screams, the black metal section towards the end, or I guess, Youth Worship Explosion called it black gaze. A very gazy kind of a black metal guitar tone with some screaming over it. It never quite hits a metal zone, but it always brings this metallic influence underneath the pop. I never heard anything like it. When I say I like poppy metal, this is not anything I would have ever thought of. And I'm really glad it exists. The singer of Arch Enemy guested on this track. They're sisters. Wow. Imagine being a pop singer. And you're like, yeah, also my sister can just do growls on an album. Which actually, it makes me wonder. Oh yeah, featuring Elise the White Glues. It makes me wonder how much of the album actually has that then. I thought it was the artist's sound, but if it's a featuring, I'm going to wager that most tracks don't have a metallic edge to it. So, I don't know, I'm still going to check it out. It's still beautiful pop music at its core. You can't go wrong with that. But I do think I would be a little underwhelmed if it isn't a bit more experimental. But this song right here is a treat. I've never heard anything like it. And that's beyond interesting. All right. We're finally going to do this. Club Casualties. Still not sure what's going on with this. Is that a phone number, by the way? Back before we used area codes in normal phone number button pressing. How do you, numbers had area codes, we just didn't need to input them. The old days. All right. This one comes at us from Tedesco. Says, legendary cloud rap tune from the early SoundCloud days. Club Casualties is Lucy and producer Ghost. This was their breakout song and still the most popular. Cool music video too if you want to check it out. No added on drivel skits in it either. I'm always a big fan of that. I understand artists who like to put extra skits into the music video and break their song up with acted parts and stuff. Not usually my cup of tea, though. Let's dive into this. See what's going on with Club Casualties.
They give me the beat today, I know it'll sound great. Set up in a weird way, these poses set up in a weird way. I think of a girl today, I never think about my face. I got a vanity plate, displaying my name. And I'm having a field day with you in my head. Smoking on grass and singing my song. I hate playing my game, start to feel strange.
does all cloud rap have a pitched element to the rap portion? Oh, Dance Dance Revolution. I like how the bass has a punchy percussive element, but is also the bass line.
Welcome back. I think I have something that you might know. And tell me what was that now? I think I feel some people that I know. So I keep on walking on broken glass. I pour myself some ice out on the rocks. And now that I've cracked, all that I remember is to love. Asking what's the suicidal, I ain't even in denial, baby girl. I just smile when you walk this way. It's not a question whether I know. You close your eyes and that's where I go.
This is interesting, because we've kind of moved away from a rhythmic, flow-focused vocal delivery into singing. And it's sort of like this weird alternate universe R&B thing. Oh, jeez.
You close your eyes and that's where I go.
Oh, taxidermist. At least I recognize that one. Huh. I don't dislike it. I think that counts for something, right? It's got a solid beat. I love the sound of the bass guitar. It's got a nice punchiness to it that allows it to play as both the bass drum in parts. It brings the rhythmic component while also giving us these moving bass lines in places. That ends up working really well. And the melodies themselves are also kind of catchy. And I think it would be a lot stronger if it was actually delivered with some bravado, some gusto, some support, you know? Like Youth Worship Explosion said, they kind of have an I'm not going to try to really sing thing going on. And it's that casualness that I think it works for the style, but doesn't work for me. But I do find it really interesting that they kind of ditch the the rapped cadence pretty early on and just shift into straight singing, which is kind of wild because, like I said, it feels like it wants to be R&B at a certain point. It just decides to not write R&B music to go along with these R&B adjacent melodies. And it's a really bizarre conjoining of worlds that I kind of have a nostalgia for, but I don't think I ever listened to anything like this. It does heavily remind me of MySpace days for some reason. When did this come out? 2016? Okay, so way too late for MySpace. I don't know. It feels like something I would hear in the MySpace days. And I think part of that's just the sonic elements of the music. It's kind of light. It's very hopeful. It's very positive. It does have a cool hip hop style groove to it, but it's very light. It's vibrant. There's also a sort of naivety to all of it. I think a lot of that comes through the vocals. It just feels innocent in a way that kind of works. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded and I want stuff like this in my life now. I need a little bit of positivity. But I kind of dig this, and I don't know why. I think part of the fact that it isn't done incredibly well, it's kind of weak everywhere except production, is charming too. I think that helps sells it. The lyrics kind of reflect that too in a self-acknowledging way. Interesting. Puzzle from the garden. Oh, someone from the garden did puzzle. Okay. They gave me the beat today. I know it will sound great. Wow. Yeah. If that's the lyrics, that it feels like that. Yeah. That was the first line. That's even better. Yeah, it just has this cool, like, youthful innocence to it. Just kind of doing weird stuff, you know? I kind of miss that, honestly. I scrutinize everything I work on, but when I was 16, I just put stupid stuff out, man. None of it was perfect. None of it was ever going to win an award, but it was fun. I don't feel like I can write music like that anymore. A part of me is just missing that I used to have. And I think this song captures that really well. That got heavy. Let's move on. Let's bring this back up a beat. We got the Armed. Oh yeah, talking about bringing it up a beat. These guys are wild. Martyr song is what we're checking out. No context on this. All right. Oh, we don't have a video. I don't know why I thought we were going to have a video for this one. Belated greetings. There's evil. See, I'm not evil. That's evil. Well, you can't get us confused. Was fighting with Twitch? That's never fun. I wish that there was just a good platform, right? I think Twitch is doing all right for us, but I also thought YouTube was doing all right for us for a while there too, a couple of years even. But there's always little things, man. Little things that keep things from being perfect. If only we could, I don't know, like crowdsource a streaming platform. I don't know. It'd be impossible though, I think. Just servers alone are expensive. Twitch wasn't working on Firefox? Yeah, unfortunately, more and more websites are breaking on Firefox. I say that as someone who uses Firefox for everything. It's, I don't know, man. I use Firefox so that Chrome doesn't have a monopoly, but more and more websites, they're trying to force it. I don't like it. Yeah, there's always that too. Youth worship explosion. Everything's got to get worse for some reason. Usually to make you pay for what you used to have. That's not a great feeling either. Oh, just had to refresh it? That's weird too. Curb Dog. Have I checked out Curb Dog? We might have done a live stream. I recognize the name though. I don't know why. Some variable that broke somewhere. You've mentioned it a few times. Okay, maybe that's what it is then. All right, let's dive into some Armed. See what's going on here. Oh, multiple people have talked about Curb Dog. Okay. There we go. I was waiting for the noisy part to come in. I can definitely hear the strokes in this. A little bit of Muse as well. Maybe a little Radiohead. Like a noise rock version of an art rock song. You know who else? Queens of the Stone Age. Oh, this is fun. Oh, that would make a lot of sense, because the guitar work, it sounds... Was that a sax? Oh, this is so absurd and I'm loving it. What in the world? Okay, so I pulled that song down before we even really got far into it. And I realized I already have the arms on my desktop from a couple of weeks ago. I gotta dig into this group. I think they've consistently been a hit for me. You're glad it's over? Yeah, I mean, if you're not jiving with that chaos, I mean, it's not going to be a good ending for you. I totally get it. And honestly, I don't know what works for me in it. I think it's the gradual growth from this very warm, resonant chord to putting the screams on top of it, to putting the sax in it, to bringing this compression. And it's this gradual building more so than just noise for noise sake. I can see the purpose of it. And I think, as usual, I need to know why something abrasive is happening to really appreciate it. And I think that's what I got here. But I'm just a fan of this whole song. The ending was the icing on the cake, a very weird, strange way to wrap up a fairly straightforward song that captures the sounds of quite a few bands I enjoy. It's a little noisy, a little punky, A little artsy, a little stonery. It's kind of all over the place. It's just a lot of rock influences pulled together in a very interesting way. It's not frontier, exactly. A little noisy. Okay, when I say it's a little noisy, I'm talking about the verse and the chorus. The chorus has a little bit of noise to it. The ending is a lot of noise, that's for sure. There's just a very eclectic combination of sounds, though, and I'm on board, man. Their version of intensity and chaos and eclecticness just continues to hit me, and I don't know why. Because eclectic, chaotic stuff isn't usually my jam, but they're doing something right. It isn't a one-off thing. I've heard 3 songs from them, I think, and I've been on board. Their albums are all over the place genre-wise. I would say their 2022 album, Perfect Savior, is their most pop and less noisy album. The most recent one came out this year. Yes. I can't pull up my personal Spotify. I'm pretty sure I have them in my listen list, though. A black metal lullaby. I vaguely remember someone bringing that up in a previous live stream. I can't remember if it was shared or not, but I'd love to, if you want to put that up in Discord, I got to check that out. If I remember it, okay. If not, though, it'll be the second opportunity I have to listen to a black metal lullaby. That's an interesting album art there. Because at first you think, oh, it's about the people. The people are the subject, but there's such a small part of it. Yeah, maybe it's the city. Is the city the subject? But that's obviously the background. It's behind a haze, a fog. Is the empty beach the subject of the photo? I don't know. Their new album's good. I'm excited for it. All right, this one is called Emily, and it's by the band Racing Mount Pleasant. This one comes at us from Greed, going with the song from what I will call the American Black Country New Road. All right, let's dig into it then. See what's going on. The retro Polish cover of Raining Blood, that's just gonna be wild. They were previously called Kingfisher. Have we checked out Kingfisher? That sounds familiar to me. Maybe it's been posted in a Discord before? Oh, gorgeous start. Why is this still up? Yeah, it doesn't look like we've ever done Kingfisher. Dude, the dynamics on that sax. Oh, there's a lot of Kingfishers? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Is that a tin whistle? Oh, it might just be a regular flute, too. Definitely something metallic. all of the legato playing and the vocals bring in these short tones.
And you're up
And the call and response there, that was a nice variation too.
And I've been waiting for hours as your eyes swoop dangerously low.
It's always interesting to see where band names come from.
Breaths from your windpipe. And in the morning I left, I saw your light fall into mine. You only dance behind closed doors. And the kiss from your lips.
I've totally been there before. Is that in the
And
song?
the scorching
Nope.
cold of that November night will be forevermore.
I really like the three pulse on this too. It has a lot of fluidity that goes well with the legato style playing. It just creates a very smooth feeling song. Ooh, a little bit of tension here. I can see that happening with Sun Ra.
We only dance behind closed doors. And the kiss from your lips on my forehead burns. And the scorching cold of that November night will be forevermore. We only dance behind closed doors. And the kiss from your lips on my forehead burns. Now you can finally sleep. But what about me? 'Cause I'm tired too.
Ooh, bringing in some grit here. Yeah, so that album came, well, the song that album came off of released this year. Just not too long ago either, August. Phenomenal. Absolutely gorgeous. Dense, but well articulated, well played. Fantastic production on it. The chord progressions are emotionally evocative. The melodies are wonderful. The rhythms, I think, are the thing that really stands out to me too, especially since it's kind of devoid of rhythmic cadences for such a long time. A lot of the music at the beginning is very legato, very smooth and flowy. And so when we do get very stark rhythmic components, such as the vocals with their staccato, syncopated ideas, it really stands out. And like I said, all of it is in this really smooth 3/4. You just kind of sway with it. You don't really get too much of these heavy downbeats. You're just kind of floating in this song, and it's just warm and covers you up, and it's so well done. And then we have the slightly mysterious, eerie bridge that I thought was smoothly transitioned into for such a sharp turn emotionally. That ended up being a beautiful section that somehow brought us back to an angrier version of the chorus, and the back and forth between the saxes and the group and the vocalist getting more passionate, getting a little bit of grit in the vocals. I mean, just a way to wrap all of that up. It only gets dense at certain parts. I think if you look at unique ideas, it really isn't that dense at all. But there's a lot of harmony going on in this song. And that creates something that feels really stacked. You hope Emily got the message. He was definitely feeling it at the end there. There was some sort of frustration, maybe, in those final moments being showcased. But yeah, I mean, that skyrocketed this album to the top of the list. I've got to check this out before the year's over. Because if the rest of the album's like that, that's an album of the year contender right there. Hope Emily doesn't have a restraining order. Maybe hope she does. I don't know what the lyrics were in this song, but maybe she needs one. This guy seems very passionate. I often think some are stream worthy, but others need special selections. This was a special selection song. Yeah, this would have been fun to break apart. Although, like Youth Worship Explosion mentioned, I don't know that there's a lot of depth to it. There's certainly an emotional depth that I would love to dive into. But musically, it's really only leading up to the outro that we begin to see a lot of depth, counterpoint, layered ideas. The opening verse and chorus is just a lot of beautiful harmonic work and rhythmic interplay against that legato style foundation. I still think I could have easily talked about this for 30, 40 minutes, though. It is an absolutely gorgeous track. Oh, yeah, dude. Completely forgot about the dynamics, the swells in here, the rising and falling tension, all of it. It's so masterfully crafted and fits the chord progression. It's just beautiful. There were time changes. Yeah, we had the key change at the bridge, that's for sure. I don't remember a time change though. Oh, was it like a subtle tempo thing, or did we have a time signature change? I thought the whole thing was in 3, so maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. Might have to choose it. Well, if you do, let me know, because I talked about skyrocketing this up for my own personal listening. So if you, I'll give it a week or two to see what you decide on, and then I think I'm just going to dive into it. Oh yeah, totally. I get it. You weren't saying the song was simple, but it does have simpler moments to it. I'll have to go back and well, I will go back and listen to it eventually, and see what's up with that time thing. Like that, I could have sworn it was all in 3. All right. Dang, are we on time today? 3 left with 30 minutes to go. I think we're gonna make it, especially since these are all on the shorter side. Oh, I'd say that, and this one's 6 minutes long, so. Oh, there's that too. Maybe you picked up on something that was a bit shorter. We did have some pretty good derails, but I think we've also had a lot of short songs that are kind of, they do their thing. I haven't really had a lot to dive into. I think that was one of our longest conversation moments. It's an outrage. Oh, tempo got translated to temporary. That's funny. How about that James Franco? Not gonna happen. You're not gonna get me derailed on him. All right. We got some Murcof here with Maiz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This one comes at us from Elbow Juice with no context. So I suppose let's dive straight into this. I've never seen Pineapple Express. Can you believe that? I think part of it is that it's Franco and Seth Rogen. I think Seth Rogen's in it. And they're both of my pass on the film things. Yeah, I knew it was Spanish for corn, but I didn't know if I was pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, I think that's it too, because I'm used to the E on the end. Yeah, we talked about Disaster Artist earlier. It was an interesting watch. There is no way Pineapple Express is good. I've seen who wrote it. I've seen who acted in it. There's no way it's going to be up my alley. Seth Rogen has really good and really good. I've never seen Seth do something good. Yeah, we did. We talked about Disaster Artist because Mark came in. He said, "Oh, I'm here." And I said, "Oh, hi, Mark." And I didn't even catch that I said that. And then we started talking about The Room, which led to the Disaster Artist, which led to me talking. I'm getting derailed. How do you guys do this? No, we got to talk about. Let's get Murcof on the channel. It has the juice. I love that song. That was a good song. All right, let's see what's going on with Murcof. Just type anything. You know, that's absolutely fair. I thought we were glitching, like it wasn't buffered, but I think this is the way it's supposed to sound. I'm also realizing that's just a still image. I'm not taking your bait, Youth Worship Explosion. I'm concentrating on this. Still not sure what this is yet, but I'm thinking about it. Okay. I like the beat. I like the thinness of the drum sound too. It reminds me of the metronome in Reaper. I've never been to the end in Minecraft. I don't think so anyways. Is that where you fight the dragon? Maybe I have been there. I like more normal stuff too. That should be the tagline to this. After, you know, be critical, not cynical. Also, Brian likes more normal stuff. Pop rocks for years. Yeah, dude, why does this sound like popping candy? I find this intriguing as an exercise. I'm not sure I'm really clicking with it. Does Pop Rock come in flavors? I thought you just bought Pop Rocks. Just like a bag. I don't know. Is there a normal flavor? Do they have like tropical that they sell only in summer or something? Like, I don't know. That's normal Pop Rocks. There's all different flavors. Oh. You mentioned C418, and this is definitely the same type of minimalism that they like to play around with. Good call on tying it together with the album art too, or the thumbnail. Holy cow, dude, there are a lot of flavors. I guess original cherry is the only thing I've ever had. Wow, they were going in a direction with that melody and sort of abandoned it for these piecemeal vignettes. You kind of get like a portion of a story, and then a break, and then a portion of a different story. It's a good observation there too. It's moving enough to be slightly interesting as far as like keeping your attention, but it's also static enough that you can meditate to it. I don't know. I think everything has been digitally touched. I don't necessarily know if the instrumentation is samples though. But I do hear a heavy repetition in ideas from specific voices, so they might be samples. Yeah, I think I've said my piece on that. It's interesting. It kept my attention through most of it, which is, that's a pretty big ask for anything minimalistic. I agree though. I would much rather prefer something like this than black metal. I don't know if I'd call this torture though. I definitely find myself sitting here waiting for something to happen, which I also do with black metal, but it's at least sonically palatable. I don't find that I want this to end as badly as traditional third wave black metal anyways. But it is meditative. The glitchiness was wild at the beginning, but kind of got tamed over the course of time. I don't know if that's because we brought in rhythmic components to give context to the glitch, or if simply that the glitched elements were used more sparingly throughout. As we added more instruments, we didn't need to use the glitch as much. I'm not really sure. But it does reach a point where it shifts from, what are they doing? I don't get this, to a point of, oh, well, this is rather soothing. And I think that's a really interesting journey to go on for something that to me starts out hyper minimalistic and approaches a point of vast listenability. I almost fell asleep. It is a very soothing song. I think a lot of that is the texture palette, but it's also the perceived volume. This was at the same volume as every other song we've listened to today, and yet it feels so much quieter. And ambient. Yeah, I think that's a good term for this as well. One stream of this would be torture. I don't know. I guess we'd have to find out. Oh yeah, dude. You get any sort of warm body laying on you, that's like that's the magic pill to go to sleep right there. The animal or a child, it don't matter. You just pass out. And you put this music on alongside it, you're done. There's no fighting it. All right. Our penultimate track today. This one's interesting because I believe what we're about to see is one of those hologram concerts, which I'm not entirely on the up and up about. I can't say I fully understand how the technology works, but they put someone on the stage and it looks like they're really there. I think that's kind of cool. This one comes at us from Gakyu with no context on it. Let's dive into this one. The artist is Kairiki Bear, and the official English translation of the title is Yamiaka Steroid. Let's dive into it. See what's going on here. Glitchbient? I like that. Oh, it's Vocaloid too. You like working to that type? Yeah, that makes sense too. It's a nice noise in the background without being overpowering. Oh, that's an interesting harmony. I can sometimes see light rays coming down. I assume that's the projector. But what are you projecting it on? How does this work? It baffles my mind. I'd love to see behind the scenes of stuff like this. Oh, dude, that'd be a really good hologram fan, though. He turned into a modem. Oh man, that's awesome. Alright, maybe less a modem, more like generic sci-fi sounds from the 70s. Twisting knobs. Clyro? I'm gonna have to check that out. Especially if it was golden. Something about this chorus line is infectious. I mean, golden's the big hit. That's what everyone's covering, but it also has like a 3-octave range in it or something. It is ridiculous. I actually actually I think I'm coming to like a lot of Vocaloid stuff, but I really like when Vocaloids do stuff that humans can't. I actually had this conversation with somebody on the Utsupi album review comments section, and just like I enjoy electronic music that kind of pushes into the realm of stuff you can't feasibly do with human played instrumentation. I think that's also what I like about Vocaloids, is when they are ridiculously fast or do weird sci-fi sounds like this and incorporate it into the vocal melodic line. Stuff that would be just really difficult, even maybe even impossible for a human to do. I think that if I heard Vocaloids just covering a normal song that humans played, I don't think I'd really like that as much. Yeah, dude. I mean, you doing 3 octaves is pretty cool already, but the Azure vocalist, yeah, I agree. That dude's on another level. It's enjoyable. It just makes you feel dirty. Nah, dude, own it. Absolutely own it. This was my problem with, I don't know, last year we did a guilty pleasures theme, and like I've never really, it's the phrase, man. If you like it, just like it, right? You don't have to feel dirty about it. Humans can't do it. Oh, ye of weak faith. No, I've certainly been impressed. I think, well, a really good example of this is Otto, who has done some covers of Vocaloid tracks where some of the wild shifts would be near impossible for a human, and she pulls it off with ease. I'm not saying that humans can't do this stuff, but it's really going to take cream of the crop, best of the best to do it, because it really is going to push a human vocalist to their limits. The Fifth Element opera performance, yeah, 100%. Not designed for humans, and a human said, bet. They went and did it. So 100%. But I think that's where, to me, using a Vocaloid really stands out and where it's going to click with me, because it's going to be something fresh. And to me, I suppose in a sense, at some point in the transition to my brain, there's a point where I'm like, oh, this justifies it. I'm not saying that's a good perspective to have on it, but I think that is part of my appreciation for it. Sophie Ellis Bextor released a new album. I don't know who that is. But if you have you listened to it? Well, I guess even if you haven't, if you have a song of theirs that you think would be a good showcase of them, put it in Discord. I'll check it out. Murder on the Dance Floor. I do know that. So I think I enjoyed a song from them. Wait, is that the song? I think I've heard of a band called Murder on the Dance Floor too. So I don't know anymore. These bands should just, we need a way to designate if we're talking about a band or a song. It gets really confusing when bands and songs share names. Anyways, I enjoyed this track though. Kind of artsy, kind of progressive rock. Some very interesting harmonic choices in there. It even gets a little noisy harmonically at times, but it keeps everything light and poppy, fresh. It's just feel good, very bouncy through most of it. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I still don't think I've heard a Vocaloid artist who I'm just rushing out to check out their works. Although I think Utsup is someone I'm going to keep an eye on moving forward, because their latest album, Perfect Persona, I had a good time with that. Not album of the year material, but definitely had a couple tracks that I would listen to again. But this is sort of what I expect from Vocaloid work, is interesting vocal technique and sounds mixed with fine, 6 or 7 out of 10 music. Really good, don't have a problem listening to it, but not something I'm seeking out. The Audience? All right, I'll have to check that out then. All right, here we are moving to our last one, Avalanche Kaito, with the track Talitakum? Talitakum? I don't know. All right, this one comes from FHI. Says, could you do a triple backflip while also holding an orange-colored orange? Do all of this facing the position of the sunset during summer solstice. Then say, Bath Klaxla med the earth gufger. Please. Thanks. Don't ask. Well, I'd love to oblige, but I can't do a backflip. Not without a lot of pain. And I'm not going to practice live because this one is just going to extend the stream out. Two, I'm not going to be able to do it. A mysterious traveler also said a lemon would work. I don't have an orange though. At least your kombucha request was feasible. I have a banana. I might have a lemon. You're not getting the backflips though. So I don't even know if the ritual's worth it if I'm already swapping out fruits and ignoring some of the physical components. Would you eat a lemon? Lemon's delicious, dude. Just eat a whole lemon. Yeah, why not? Oh, dude, you took it too far. The rind? Why? No. No. Dude, bananas are great. Good potassium. Sweet, portable, and they come in their own wrapping. It's really, I mean, I guess a lot of fruit does too. Banana rinds. Also, all are clones of each other. Is that like scientifically accurate? All right. Let's wrap this up. Let's see what Avalanche Kaito is bringing to the table.
Ndo film am krokan tibigat na yilig menenga. Mam chenga raga. Mam chenga rem.
Oh, Miracle Fruit is fantastic. The little tablet that makes everything sweet. I don't know what my favorite fruit would be though. It's not a fruit, it's a little tablet, and you put it on your tongue and it dissolves, and I don't know if it covers your other taste buds, but everything just has a heightened sweetness to it. Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about now. I thought it sounded familiar, but this is also just very technical, progressive hip hop, so I might have just been, you know, they sound similar. You think it is a real fruit? I've only, oh, I guess I'd have to look into it. The vocal drone in the background is interesting. I can see some of that in here too. It all comes full circle. Yeah, I enjoyed that though. I think just like the last track, it's a song that grabs my attention, but it doesn't quite make me want to listen to more of it. It's one of those things that's really cool to check out though. I love the rhythmic polyrhythms that we have in here, the interesting layering of instrumentation. It's just overall very dense in a lot of ways. There's lots of vocal lines going on. There's lots of little instruments playing or little ornamental ideas, but there's a lot of them and sort of bounces around Hocket style. There's the vocal layers that we have at the beginning that introduce all the different rhythms that go along with it. It's an interesting track. I do think that it locks into an idea too quickly and then the song just wraps up. I kind of wish we had more of the first half than the second half. Or even, I guess, at a different way of saying it, I wish the second half had led to something else, turning this into maybe a 5.5-minute song instead of a 3.25. It just felt like there was more to do with it musically, but I suppose also coming from the griot angle that as a storyteller, the story was told. I don't necessarily think that the music is secondary to the vocal work on this simply because the instrumentation is varied and dense and well composed, but I do think that the core element is the lyrics and then possibly the atmosphere as a secondary. So most decided on a technicality that you'd miss tomato the most. Yeah, I think that if I had to choose a fruit, not necessarily a favorite, but one that I would not remove from my diet, tomato would be it. Because botanically, it's a fruit. And I tend to eat a lot more veggies than I do fruits. Tomato shows up a lot more in my diet than, which is probably why I can't think of a fruit that I really like. Kiwi might be my favorite, just because it's delicious, but I don't eat kiwi a lot. So, you refuse to believe tomato is a fruit? Culinarily, it's certainly a vegetable as far as its flavor palette. But it's got seeds in it, bro. The botanists are going to tell you it's a fruit all day long. Eat the kiwi with the skin, 100%. Do people, I mean, I know I used to as a kid demand the skin off, and it's a texture that it's acquired. It's an acquired taste for sure, but I think I read something that that's where a lot of the good vitamins are or something for you. So vegetables are not a thing from a botanical point of view. That's right. Yeah. Surprisingly, the skin is like peach. Yeah. You're never going to eat a kiwi with the skin. Oh, that's where the antioxidants are. Okay. Oh, yeah, dude, if you're allergic to it, stay far away. Cucumber's another good one too, though. Unless you're actually allergic. Evil jokes about a lot of things, but I'm not thinking they're joking about that one. Oh, you know what? Spiral out. You got it. Berries. You give me some blueberries, some blackberries, and raspberries, and you put that in a bowl, that is devoured. Those might be my favorite fruits. I completely forget about berries, though. You know, you say the word fruit, and I'm thinking apples, pears, peaches, oranges, bananas. But berries, man, that's where it's at. That's the good stuff. I still need to eat or try traditional real yogurt and not the 40 grams of sugar American yogurt that we have over here with chocolate and not cranberries, caramel and everything else we put in it. Mangosteen? I don't even know what that is. I can't even say that I've had any. I don't know what an Asian fruit would be. Here's what I'm going to say though. I'm pretty sure Avalanche Kaito is the reason that stream 175 hasn't been uploaded yet. So I'm gonna try and fingers crossed get this one out quick. But something tells me this one's gonna get blocked too. Mangosteen and Bruce Silverstein. It's very purple. Since you're in Florida, you might be able to find it at a supermarket. Huh. But yeah, this is going to wrap this one up. Minute and a half early. Look at that. Who would have thought I could have done it? But I did do it because I'm one of the best Twitch streamers in the world, maybe even the universe. I can get streams done before they're planned to end. I don't know why I decided to get into some bravado there. Take pride in that. We had a good day though. Really interesting songs. Quite an eclectic collection, not just the fact that they all sound varied collectively, but we had a lot of individual songs that were pretty eclectic as well. So, very interesting day. And, you know, I got another reason to check out The Armed, so that's always good. I'm going to try to get this up as soon as possible. If all goes well with YouTube, should be within the hour. Early access will be ready to go soon for patrons and for everyone else tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're kicking off Multilingual Week, looking at songs that have vocals done in 2 or more languages. You can make streams end before they even started. Do I have that power? I must have that power. I'm a streamer. We're very powerful these days. Streamers are very important. YouTube personalities as well. We get noticed by people in power, in positions of power these days. So maybe I do have the ability to stop a stream before it starts. You never know. What am I even doing? All right. Until next time, y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. Be critical, not cynical. I'll catch y'all later.